What's up? We got Jojo Part 2, Episode 25. The Super Being. The Ultimate Super Being. Yeah. So this episode starts off with Cars officially becoming the Super Being. Yeah, how can you go Cars the main antagonist? You guys did, Dio fought Jojo on so many occasions. How can you call Cars the antagonist again? I don't understand this show. So he fights him. Cars shows that he can manipulate life. He creates a squirrel, which looks like a nice squirrel, until it starts eating the other squirrel. And then the evil squirrel goes into Stroheim and eats the other people, eats the Germans, and then turns into a butterfly and then turns back into Cars' hand. Crazy. But also nice. But crazy. It's crazy. I know I'm not wearing my glasses. I usually wear them. I took a shower. So I'm not wearing them. Is that okay? Yeah. So Jojo decides to say, they decide to fire Cars, but they're like, hey, a sunlight's gonna take him out. But guess what? It doesn't. He glows in the sunlight power. Maybe he can do this. Yeah, maybe he can sing the opening. So they fired him. Doesn't work. So Jojo's like, I have one last plan. And they're like, what is it? Run away. So they run away, and Smokey decides to tell Jojo the fact that his mom is Lisa Elizabeth, but he doesn't hear him because Cars is coming. It's so infuriating. The Cars is coming. Jojo decides to take a shift. So anyway, last we saw, we see Joseph in the plane, and Cars is, and Speedwagon tries to tell Joseph, what would it do to Lisa? And he's like, what? And he's like, Lisa is your mom. But again, Joseph doesn't hear any of this. And it's one of the most aggravating scenes of Jojo because Speedwagon is telling Joseph the fact is that his mom's Lisa, but he cannot hear him. It's one of the most annoying scenes in the show. So anyway, so then Speedwagon is like, hey Joe, it's like, hey, this little foul stone mask has claimed the life of George Joestar, Joestar, and George Joestar II. And he doesn't want the same thing to happen to Joseph. So then Cars shows up and attacks the plane as it lands into the volcano, and I believe Cars died, but Cars comes out of the volcano. And that's kind of where the episode ends. Penultimate episode, everyone. We don't know what happens. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time when we review the finale of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, episode 26. See you next time. And it doesn't matter. What's up? We got Jojo Part 2, the final episode. Man, I'm excited to review the final episode of part 2 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm excited to review this part because that means next we'll be going on to part 3, Stardust Crusaders. And that's everyone's favorite part. So, anyway, this episode starts off with the last episode left off with cars jumping out of the lava. The lava. He jumps out of the lava and basically just so they're able to push him back into the water, but he's water. Why did I say water? I meant lava. But he's able to create like an armored form, and he cuts off Jojo's right hand. So Jojo doesn't have a right hand anymore. Poor Jojo. Poor Joseph. He lost his right hand. So we get Cars flashbacks. We get passed on what Cars did millions, thousand, like 200 years, 5,000 or 2,000 years ago. But the main is the final battle. The final battle is Cars basically flying up as Jojo rockets himself up into the sky. Give me some Reverse Flash Season 8 flashbacks, but okay. And defeats Cars as Cars tries to fly up. Jojo is able to defeat him, and he flies into space, freezing up, being brain dead, and he becomes a stone rock. So, well, Joseph, he's led to be dead. Yes. Stroheim thinks Jojo is dead, so he later tells Speedwagon that Joseph is dead. Well, Joseph is alive. Well, Joseph is remaining dead. So, at a funeral for Joseph Joestar, we see everyone there. We see Smokey. We see that the Caesar's instructor there. They cut out the scene where in the anime where Joseph and Lisa find him in Wami's castle, in the Cars castle. They cut that out. So I thought he was dead. But no, he's here. He's alive. We see Smokey, we see Speedwagon, we see everyone. But who shows up? But Joseph Joestar. Yeah, he's alive. He shows up at his own funeral, not realizing that it's his own funeral. He shows up. And he's like, and he shows up at his own funeral, guys. He shows up at his own funeral. Shows up there. He shows up out of the blue at his own funeral. So anyway, what happens is that Suzy Q walks in and Caesar's instructor is like, Suzy Q, why you have that ring on your finger? And Joseph's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You don't know she's my wife? And they're like, wife? Yeah, Jojo and Suzy Q got married. Caesar must be kicking himself in heaven because he told Jojo in episode 15 and episode 13 that why would any girl get with Joseph? But guess what, Caesar? You were wrong. Joseph married Suzy Q. So we get some character stills. We learn that So Joseph reveals that he has a new cybernetic hand that Stroheim made for him, and he gives his oh no, because it's revealed that Suzy Q, that Joseph was picked up by a boat, and Suzy Q nursed him back to health. And he was supposed to tell them that she was supposed to tell them that he was alive. She just forgot. So Jojo gives him, and she's like, not the clicky thing again. And then she's like, OMG, I forgot. And he's like, oh no. I love doing that. I love saying, oh no. It's just the best thing ever. And they decide to, so then she's like, Jojo. So then we see it's still in Lisa. The narrator tells us that Lisa goes on to tell Joseph she's his mom, and she marries a Hollywood screenwriter. It's unknown whatever happened to Lisa, because she's never brought up or shown in the anime again. So, and since the certificate, since this is showing what happens to the character, it never says that she dies. So, she's alive or dead, but they never show her or bring her back ever again. I don't know what happened to Lisa, everyone. She's just gone from the show, never to be mentioned again. Who knows what happened to her? So then we see Irina Joestar. She would continue to be a kindergarten teacher until her death at age 81. They killed Irina Joestar. And the kicker, my boy, Speedwagon, he continues to do science and figure out medicine until his death of a heart attack at 51 in 1950. Yes, they killed off Speedwagon, the main guy of this whole show. He is my boy, and they killed him off. So then we learn about the other characters. Smokey, Smokey, I gotta say, I kind of don't like Smokey. I don't know why. If he appeared more in the anime, I think I'd like him more. But since he just disappeared off the trace and then randomly came back, I'm just not his biggest fan. What he would later do is Smokey would grow up and would run for president and would become the first black president of his hometown in Georgia. Good for you, Smokey. We learn about what happened. We learn about Stroheim. He never sees Jojo again, and he dies in the 40s as a proud German soldier. Yeah, we never see Stroheim. As I just said, we never see Stroheim again. R.I.P. Stroheim. You were evil, but you were a cool character. You were cool to know these. So then we cut to 1987. Yes. Like 50 years after the end of that. And we see now an old Joseph Joestar on a plane, boarding a plane to somewhere where a guy carries his luggage, and Joseph says thank you, but he's like, "Are you Japanese?" And he's like, "Yeah." And first he's like, "Well, never mind," and kicks the guy. And he's like, he's just mad that his daughter went off to moved to Japan and married a Japanese guy, and he hates Japanese, even though he is Japanese, and he plays on his Sony Walkboy. Yeah. It's more 80s than a Walkboy. So then we see fishermen, and they're uncurving a sailor when they open a coffin that says D-E-O. Dio. Yeah. He's not dead. Like, he's coming back, baby. Dio is coming back in the next season, I think. So then we also see, the to be continued is of a man sitting in a jail cell. And that's how part 2 ends. So, the part 3 setup is an older Joseph Joestar is going to visit his grandson. Dio's coffin from part 1, which he was buried in, has been unearthed, and a guy is sitting in a jail cell. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time when we start Stardust Crusaders. I stand up, I don't need wa. Oh right now, I don't need a bullet. Break you down, I don't know she no asu. She knows to stand up proud.